Good day, guys. Welcome back. So let's take a look at what we'll be expecting this week on S&P 500 for the week. If you are yet to subscribe, make sure you click on the subscribe button to stay updated. I'll be putting more updates on S&P 500 in the Telegram channel. So the link to the Telegram channel will be in the comment section. So go to the comment section, click on the link, follow, and when you put an update on S&P 500, you will get it. So let's see what we'll be expecting this week on S&P 500, which we can also see as SPY. Same thing, same movement. So let's zoom it out. And before that, if you trade S&P 500, it will be best you follow the Patreon channel. I'll also put the link to the Patreon channel in the comment section. On the Patreon channel, we are going to cover Nasdaq 100, US 500, which is the US 500, which is also S&P 500 or SPY, and we'll also be covering gold. WTI crude oil will be giving you potential movement next on what will happen within the spear in the Patreon channel. The link to the Patreon channel will also be in the comment section. Now, let's zoom it out and let's start with our trend. We know that market tends to give us three movements. It's either we are trending up, we are trending down, or we are ranging, right? These are the is either doing any of these three, either trending to the upside, trading downward, or ranging. So what we clearly can see on our S&P 500 is our trend is to the upside, meaning we are trading upward. Now take a look at this movement. We had this impulsive move. Within this impulsive move, we were having a series of higher high and an higher low, especially when you go to your 4-hour time frame. You will see it clearly. You will see series of higher high and an higher low. Then we had this corrective wave. Within this corrective wave, we were having a series of lower low and a lower high. This is a corrective wave. Now this is our impulse move. You can see that this impulse move took out this previous high. Then the pullback, this I'll call it the pullback phase. Impulse move, right? This was the impulsive move that took out this previous high. Then we had pullback, which once you go to your 4-hour time frame, you will clearly see that it was giving us a lower low and a lower high, series of lower low and a lower high. Then here comes the impulse move, which is the impulsive move that took out this previous high. You can see it within this impulsive move that market was giving us on the forward time frame, which is very clear. You will see a series of higher high and an higher low and higher low. Then there was a corrective market move. Market corrected itself, and this where we started having this sell. I'm sure a lot of people must have panicked and sold, when markets is dropping, which is actually not a good thing. But anyway, markets has given us this corrective wave, and the corrective wave is over. Then we had this impulsive move. You can see that this impulsive move took out this previous impulsive move high, which is our previous higher high. Then here comes the pullback, movement up again, pullback, and now another movement. You can see that it has given us that bullish move that took out this previous high. So our next movement on S&P 500 should be a pullback. So expect a pullback. But for this week, I believe we'll be going bullish. Just expect a pullback to play out this week. Once the pullback plays out this week, then we can now go ahead so hop in on the buy. But for swing traders that would love to hold their position for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, or probably 6 weeks, the best thing you would want to do is actually wait for the pullback because the high has been formed, which is the new higher high has been formed. So the best thing you would want to do is wait for the higher low to play out. So once the pullback plays out for the swing traders, then you can go ahead to take the buy. So above all, our forecast or prediction on S&P 500 is still to the upside, so we are expecting a bullish move. What I'm just trying to say is just wait for the pullback to play out. Once the pullback plays out, then we can now hop in. Now let's scroll down to the daily time frame to understand what market is currently doing. So we see something like this. higher high here, which took out this previous high. Here is our higher low. Here comes the higher high. You can see that the higher high took out this previous high. Here comes the higher low, right? Market pushed up, failed to take out this previous high, corrective wave, and eventually it pushed up, took out this previous high. Here you can see it took out this previous high, forming a new higher high. Here comes the pullback level. It has given us a pullback here. Now the market has given us a pullback, it has given us another new higher high. You clearly consider this new higher high took out this previous high. So now that we've gotten this new higher high, we should be expecting a pullback. So on the weekly time frame says a pullback is coming anytime soon. Daily time frame says we should be expecting a pullback. This is actually not the best time to actually open for the buy. So daily time frame, expect your pullback. Once the pullback plays out, you can now go in for a new higher high, another bullish move. That is what we should be expecting on S&P 500. Now let's go down to the forward time frame. Let's say something like this. Our high, here's the higher low, here's our higher high, which took out this previous high here. Here is the higher low, here is our higher high, which took out this previous high. Here's our higher low, and here is the higher high, which took out this previous high. Here is the higher low, and here comes the higher high. You can see it. This higher high took out this previous high. So a little bit of a bullish will likely play out, just a little, then an higher low will play out. So like I said, weekly time frame says a pullback is coming, so watch out for it. Daily time frame also says the best time to actually open for the buy is when the pullback eventually plays out. So we should be watching out for a pullback, which we talked about on the daily time frame. Now on the forward time frame has given us a new higher high, and we should be expecting an higher low, and that higher low is going to be the pullback. So once the pullback plays out, then we can now go in for a new higher high. So do not go ahead and take the buy. Right now is not the best time to take the buy on S&P 500. Wait for your pullback first before you open for the buy. Now let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. So on this 1 hour time frame, we had a multiple rejection around this level. This was our higher high here. Market eventually came to test it, rejected, pushed up, came back to retest it, rejected, right? Impulse, little bit of a pullback. Now we've gotten this impulse move, which eventually take out this previous high. This new higher high here took out this previous high. So now one thing we should be expecting next is another pullback level. So hopefully next week we'll be expecting a pullback. Once the pullback plays out, then we can now go in for the buy. After that, I'll give you guys an update next on what we should be expecting on S&P 500.